Hey, I have a question for you. Did you know that Amazon loses inventory or damages inventory on a regular basis? And while they do an okay job at reimbursing you, a lot of times they don't. Not until you find the issue and then let them know about it. But that means combing through tons of reports and running things through Excel, doing all these complicated tasks, just way too much. Luckily, I had my team build me software that does this all for me. I called it Refund Genie, and now you can use it too. In fact, thousands of our podcast listeners have already been using it. Here are some real-life results pulled from our FBA High Rollers Facebook group. So here we go. I'm going to omit last names, but if you want to go to our Facebook group, you'll see the post there. But Peter got back $946. Mike got back over $1,000. Jared got back over $8,000. Sherry was using another service that got her $5 back, but got back over $6,000 with Refund Genie. Jessica got back $847, and she has a diligent partner keeping up with her inventory. Mark got back over $13,000. Tony got back over $5,000. Andrea got back $2,200 in less than 24 hours. Sebastian got back $2,500 in 2 days. I personally got back well over $10,000 in just the last few weeks. Kevin King, my buddy, he got back over $28,000 in less than a month. Jenny got back $1,200 in the past week, and Paul got back $13,900. Now, these are real people in our group, like I said, all of them. Feel free to join our Facebook group and do a search for Refund Genie, and you'll see a bunch of raving posts. You can join our Facebook group, by the way, if you're not in there already. There's over 17,000 members by going to ampmpodcast.com/Facebook. By the way, we do not take 25% of your reimbursed money that Refund Genie finds for you. I know there are services that do that. I think that would be a lot. For example, if you're getting back $8,000, we'd feel terrible taking $2,000 of it. Instead, Refund Genie is included in our suite of tools for all paid Helium 10 members, but you get 10 Amazon seller tools that you can use for other things like keyword research, keyword tracking, hijacker alerts, misspelling generation, brand gate checking, listing optimizations, keyword index checking, and so much more. The same tools that I use, the same tools that a ton of big sellers are using. By the way, we also have a 100% money back guarantee. We only want you as a customer if you're thrilled with the tools. So Refund Genie is just one of those tools, and it's included in there. Oh, one other thing, you can check to see how much money you may be owed from Amazon for free. Okay, so you don't have to be a paid member to at least see how much you might be owed. Okay, you can make that decision after you see the numbers. So take at least 2 minutes right now. Okay, you can pause this podcast, go find out, and then play the rest of this podcast. Head over to helium10.com. That's helium10.com. helium10.com.
Warning, the following podcast has been classified as insanely lucrative. Listener discretion is advised.
We now can do Canada, Europe, UK. So as long as you have a US mailing address or business address.
Your attention, please. Listening to the AMPM podcast may cause recurring revenue streams and unfair advantages over your competitors. Other side effects may include fatter wallets, fired bosses, and longer vacations. Listen at your own risk. Here's your host, seven-figure entrepreneur and online marketing madman, Manny Coates. Manny Coates.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the AMPM podcast. My name is Manny Coates, and I will be your host, and this is the show where we discuss all things Amazon private label and how to generate recurring revenue streams 24 hours per day during the AM and the PM, hence the name of the show. Get it? AMPM podcast. As a matter of fact, while we were out this past weekend, we were camping out in the middle of the desert. It was a race weekend. And we decided to crack open a crazy, super hot bottle of hot sauce, world's hottest sauce, I would imagine. And we were all dying while I was sitting there salivating and pretty much wishing I could end all the pain. I was making money. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. So guys, today I am back with Ashlin Hadden. She's the owner of Ashlin Hadden Insurance Agency. And if you guys remember back on episode number 111, we had her on the show talking about the super awesome insurance that you can now get as an Amazon seller to protect yourself from suspension. And it was, I think, pretty cheap. I mean, for the most part, I think the policies we were looking at were around $3,000 to have over $1 million worth of coverage. Anyways, We're going to be having her back on the show right now to discuss some serious updates, okay? A lot of people have been asking if they could change this or change that, or they're not in the US and can they get the insurance? So a lot of big changes, and we're going to talk about this very, very quickly. It's important enough that I wanted to create a podcast about it because there's a lot of people that listen to our show that are not from the United States, and this is really going to affect you. So without further ado, let's chat with Ashlin. Hello, everybody. I am back with Ashlin Hadden. If you guys remember, Ashlin Hadden was on our 111th episode, and she is an insurance broker, and she had the really cool program by Lloyd's of London to allow Amazon sellers to protect their business in case you got suspended. And since we did that, I can't even speak. Since we did that podcast, we actually were notified that there were some changes, and these are changes for the better, and Ashlin is here to tell us all about it. Ashlin, hello, and welcome to the show again.
Hello. Thanks for having me back.
Yes, and sorry for me stumbling over my own words here. I'm a little bit under the weather, and I didn't get a lot of sleep. I'm going to blame it on that. How's
there
that?
you go. Take and run with that.
So you have some exciting news. I don't even know where to start because there's about 5 or 6 things you're going to go over.
Yeah.
Where should we start?
So let's go back to just a little overview of 1.0 version. If you guys remember, 1.0 is our first attempt. Remember, this is a brand new product. We are building this policy from scratch. There is nobody out there that has this policy. So we're really learning from you guys and your listeners and what they want and some changes that they want to see. And I'm taking those changes back to Lloyd's of London, and we're making those changes because this is what you guys want. This product is designed for you as a FBA, Amazon, eBay, a seller in this community. We want this to be what you guys want. So we've made some changes. So 1.0 version was, there was no ASIN coverage. So if you had a specific ASIN that was shut down, there would be no coverage. There was a max.
Yeah, I asked you specifically about that. I remember saying, well, what happens? Because I've had products, just a single product get suspended, not the whole account. And I was like, well, that's kind of a bummer, especially if it's your top selling product.
Right.
You wouldn't be covered.
Right.
And by the way, before we get into all the nitty gritty of it, in case people haven't actually listened to episode 111, can you give us like a 60-second rundown of what this insurance is, the original insurance, just so they know?
So the original insurance is if your entire account was suspended, we're going to help pay your lost income during that suspension. There was a max coverage of 90 days. There was no ASIN coverage, and we would pay after 120 hours back to day one. So you'd get a little bit of extra, 120 hours extra of coverage back to day one. We help pay for payroll, prep fees, storage fees, rent, anything that you pay on a monthly basis, owner's draw. Those types of things are what we were paying out on a policy. So pretty basic policy for 1.0. 2.0 is coming next week, will be launched, and we are now going to have ASIN coverage. So if you have specific items, ASINs that are your top sellers, we now can provide partial coverage for those. So you'll still have 100% coverage for the account and then 35% coverage for your specific ASINs. So it's a little, but remember, we're starting from scratch with this policy. So something is better than nothing, but we're really excited to have some coverage there for you.
So the 35% then that's covered, is that also, you still have the grace period or the 120 hours before it kicks in?
You do. So you still have the 120 hours before it kicks in, but we'll do 35% of your coverage limit. So if you are $1 million coverage, then we would give you the $35,000 in coverage. So after 120 hours, then we start picking up your lost income. So same situation as 1.0. We're still going to pay owner's draw. We're still going to pay payroll. We're still going to pay rent, prep fees, storage fees. All of that stuff still stays the same. So you get to pick up ASIN coverage. For the first 250 people who sign up for the new policy will get unlimited ASIN coverage. If you have 10,000 products that you want to sit there and schedule out, we're going to let you schedule out 10,000 products. I don't suggest you spend the time doing that. I would pick your top ones, but there's going to be unlimited ASIN coverage for the first 250 people who sign up for the policy.
So if they're not in the 250 first people, what do they get? How much?
Then they're going to get 50.
50. Is this something, is a 250 something that Lloyd's is setting up, or is that something your company's doing because of?
That's something the company's doing.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. You're talking about your company or Lloyd's?
My company.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So 250 people, guys, get in there. And by the way, this is not an affiliate push or anything on our side. We get $0. I'm just putting this information out to you guys so that you can contact Ashlin if you want and use her service. So just want to make that clear so people aren't like, hey, you're just trying to cash in. Or not. It's not what this is.
Nope. Okay. And then the next thing that we heard from customers is that they didn't necessarily always need 90 days of coverage, that they might want a lower amount or a higher amount of coverage. So we listened. We now will have an option for you to do 30, 60, 90, or 180 days. So depending on what you do and how your business is run, if you only want 30 days of coverage at a lower premium, then you can have 30 days of coverage at a lower premium. If you want 180 days at a higher premium, you now can have that option.
Okay. And to be clear, so we're talking about, they've got a full year of coverage. You're talking about the actual payout, the number of payout days if you get suspended.
Yep. So the max amount that we would pay. So if you get suspended and you do a 30-day policy and you're suspended for 45 days, then we're still only going to stay at that 30 days. So this is going to be your max payout.
Okay. Are you providing a chart or something that has the, like
we
when people
are.
ask for quotes?
Yep.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yep. Cool. So we'll let you know the different options that are available for you. And then again, along with that, some people are qualified for $1 million in coverage and they're like, hey, Ashlin, we're not that big of a seller yet. We don't need $1 million for 90 days. We might need $100,000 for 90 days. So now we have that option. Again, that's your choice. We can go from 50,000, 100,000, and all the way up to $1 million. So there's tiers in there now that you guys could kind of choose. And then the back end, if it's a financial decision for you, saying, hey, Ashlin, I can only spend $3,000. I would rather have something rather than nothing. What will $3,000 get me? Now we have more options to play, and you might be able to get a $50,000 policy for 60 days. So it's just nice to be able to have different options for you guys instead of just the take it or leave it. So if you've quoted in the past, definitely check it out now and have a few more options in your pay range.
Cool. So if somebody says, I only want to spend $1,500 a month, you can actually formulate something around that amount.
Right.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Now, the biggest news though.
News is we now can do Canada, Europe, UK. So as long as you have a U.S. mailing address or business address, we now can go to different countries. So if some of you say, well, I don't have a U.S. mailing address, we have done some research, and there's a company called physicaladdress.com. You can go rent a physical address, and it's a forwarding company where you can forward your documents to your foreign address. So check out that website. Same thing. I'm not an affiliate there. We just did some Googling and tried to figure out how to get you guys a physical address here in the States so you can have our stuff mailed to you. So we are super, super excited.
Okay. I'm on the site. It says what, $7.90? I've never been to this site. It says $7.98 a month?
Yep. So under $10 a month. You rent the room, rent the address, and now you can qualify for the policy. So we're super excited. You guys asked. You said, I need it in Canada. I need it in Europe. I need it in UK.
Nice.
And we're delivering. We're delivering.
That's awesome. So where have you announced this so far?
You are the first one.
Woo-hoo!
We have not announced anything. Your listeners get to hear it first.
Awesome. All right. We better edit this thing fast and get it out then. So awesome. All right. Well, so guys, if you need a recap, right, you can now get this insurance. If you're not in the U.S., you just got to have a physical address here. We just talked about a site that you can go to get that. There's probably a ton of other ones out there that you can do, but physicaladdress.com was one of the ones was the one that Ashlin mentioned. And you can actually get insurance customized to your budget, whatever you want. And there's a lot of other cool things. So if you want to recap, it's only about 12, 13 minutes, guys, of a podcast. It's going to be short. But Ashlin, anything else that we need to add?
Yeah, if you guys want to get the quote, the system we're still working on the back side of it. So it's still manual right now. So hit me up at haddenservice@valdico.com and put that in the show notes, HADDEN service at VOLDICO.com. I'll get you quoted up. I've got a nice little chart that kind of gives you some options so you can see how you want to pay and how much coverage you want.
Cool. And then we'll also post this in our Facebook group, guys. If you're not a member there, Ashlin is in there. We have almost, I think, about 19,000 members in there, Amazon sellers. So you can respond to the post there and ask Ashlin questions there publicly if you'd like. That Facebook group is called the FBA High Rollers. You can go type that into Facebook and you'll find it. Or you can just go to our website, ampmpodcast.com, and there'll be a big button there that you can click that takes you right to the Facebook page. So that said, Ashlin, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. Anyone has any questions, let me know.
Perfect. Take care. Hey guys, if you like this episode, definitely check out episode number 115. We discuss how to sell your Amazon FBA business. It's a fantastic interview with Joe Valley. That's really his name, Joe Valley from Quiet Light Brokerage, and he releases a flood of incredible information on how you can set your business up for top dollar when and if you're ready to actually sell your Amazon private label business. That's episode number 115. Hey guys, listen up. If you're loving the content from the podcast, but you want to take it to the next level and learn advanced strategies, the strategies that I'm using to take myself from $1.6 million in sales last year to what I'm hoping will be $4 million in sales this year, then listen up, okay? I just need a few minutes of your time because this is going to be awesome. I've created a high-end paid training group called the Illuminati Mastermind. Now, before you go, what is the Illuminati? I'm just going to tell you. The modern definition of Illuminati is a person who is enlightened beyond others about a specific topic. In our case, that topic is private label. Our Illuminati members will be enlightened in the art of outsmarting, outranking, and outselling their competition. So let me tell you just some of what has been covered so far in our monthly training. Okay, we talked about a secret strategy we use to ensure that our supplier is giving us the best possible price. And this has saved us tens of thousands of dollars already this year. It's probably going to be over $100,000 for me personally by the end of the year, right? Because if you're spending $6 a unit on a product instead of $3 and you think you got the best price, you're getting hosed, right? So we're going to show you how to fix that. We also talked about a quick service that I linked to my Amazon account that should generate me more than $20,000 in sales this year alone from eBay. And I wasn't going to be selling on eBay, but guys, this took just 15 minutes to set up and I never need to do anything again. And I'll be honest, I didn't even set it up. I just kind of pushed it off to somebody else and they did it. How to add high converting coupon buttons to your pages that almost nobody is doing. This one really blew away a lot of people. And that's just in our free webinar, okay? The free webinar that I want you to check out right now. That's going to be at illuminatimastermind.com. So write that down, illuminatimastermind.com. If you join us on the paid membership, we open the floodgates for you, okay? Our paid Illuminati monthly training members just learned how I save myself over $1,000 per month, sometimes $1,500 per month on freight forwarding with just a 1-minute tweak. It's super simple, and this is easily gonna add up to at least 12 grand this year, maybe more, and that's money in my pocket. We also talked about who I go to on Amazon for better seller support, right, than the general seller support staff, because I seem to never get anywhere with those guys, and I know a lot of people complain about them. So I'm gonna tell you what I do to get by them. And we're gonna talk about a service that Kevin King uses to get his products included in tons of catalogs and gift guides. And these things generate sales for him daily. And it really crushed it in all the Christmas guides that he got his products into during the holidays. We talked about how to force Amazon into giving you the perfect keyword-filled URL, okay, so that you rank better with SEO. If you don't do the exact process, you're just gonna be given a random URL with a bunch of keywords from your title and it's just a mess. It doesn't do anything for you. We also talked about how traditional product inserts, you know, standard paper inserts you put into your product boxes that you hope someone will type in the website and go register the warranty or whatever it might be, how those are pretty much obsolete unless you are part of our group. And if you're part of our group, then you're gonna know we have something we call the Illuminati inserts, and they're gonna blow your mind. It's crazy, right? You gotta get with the 21st century. All of this and a ton more. And we do it every single month during our high-end webinar training. And we also do a monthly Q&A session with me, Kevin, and our other super successful mentors just to make sure that you're covered on all the topics that we presented. And if you're ready to take it to the next level beyond the monthly training, and assuming that there are any tickets left, please come and join us at our live Illuminati Mastermind training with 74 other Amazon sellers. That's right. We've got a cap. There's 75 people that are coming out to this event, and it's going to be amazing. It's 3 nights, and I think it's going to be mind-blowing. The guests that we're bringing out to speak, the mentors, are top level. A lot of these guys have never spoken at other events. We got them to agree to come out to our event, and we're super, super excited. By the way, none of this is cheap, okay? I always say this up front because we don't want tire kickers. We want people that want to take action, right? Would you rather be cheap, or would you rather have the potential to rub elbows with guys that really know what's going on, guys and gals, to potentially 2x, 3x, and even 10x your earnings? So come join us. I'll show you a tool, if you don't already know about it, that's in our free webinar, by the way, that should hopefully pay for your monthly training for some time to come if you actually use it, okay? It'll get you some money back. So head over to IlluminatiMastermind.com and sign up for the next webinar right now, okay? The first 2 live webinars we did, by the way, they maxed out at the 1,000 seat capacity. So get there early, don't miss it, add it to your calendar, set a reminder with Siri or Cortana or whoever it is that you're using for that specific time on that date. And yeah, head over to IlluminatiMastermind.com and I'll see you on the inside.
You've been listening to the AM/PM podcast hosted by Manny Coates. For more information, insider tools, and to get the resources mentioned in this episode, visit ampmpodcast.com.